Hey guys, Ycoms here and welcome back to the AOR Season 16 Championship here in the PC F1 League for round number 3 at China. Last time out of Bahrain I told you I would try to catch up as quickly as possible with these videos to be up to date with the rounds, but that didn't go too well so far really. I can tell you though, round number 4 at Baku will come out tomorrow even after, since this China video here will be not as long as my usual league racing videos. But yeah, here we are for round number 3. Last time out of Bahrain we had our first podium in the league since ages really, and China's normally been a track which, has been relatively successful for me, I would say. I'm always struggling here, however, over one lap pace, and you can see we are qualifying on the soft tires, since this is the far more superior strategy here to go on. So coming into turn number 1 now, trying to kiss this first apex here, trying to stay relatively close here to the curb on the inside, and the curb, taking a little bit of curb there down into the first gear, briefly trying to be very tight here on the exit. Something that I noticed really during practice is this tight exit here can give you a little bit of time. Now at the end of the first sector, trying to enable this braking here for the hairpin down into first gear, a little bit late on the apex maybe, but a decent exit I would say. We had well, actually this time is not representative at all, which we said so far. Maybe it turned a little bit too early here for this first apex, trying to open up still the second apex, which was very nice. Now to this double left hand, very tricky. We turned it a little bit too early. That will compromise our exit quite a bit. Also a little bit of oversteer there. That was not ideal by any stretches. And now coming into the final sector, which seems to be one of our strongest points really on this track for some reason. I have no idea why, but it seems to be the case anyway. Trying to get as much traction here out onto the straight, into overtake mode briefly until I think we are opening up the DRS. There we go, and now going back to hot lap mode for the rest of the lap. Trying to spot the braking point here just as the curve begins here on the left hand side into first gear. Trying to slide the car around a little bit, almost too wide there, but we pretty much nailed that corner to be honest, and now there's only one corner to go to finish the lap. A little bit cautious here on the exit as well, don't want to extend that at all really, and we're coming across the line with 30.696. Well, that was not a terrible lap for my standards, really what I was able to do in practice. Maybe there were 2 tenths in there, but yeah, it was difficult to hook up a lap here, especially since you only had really 1 or 2 tries really in this session. And you can see there are 2 ultra soft qualifiers in the session with Alvaro Carretan and Matt Sorensen, and you can see Formula Danny there in P3 with a 30.1. That is a ridiculous lap time, I have to say. That's like one of the most ridiculous lap times I've seen on this game so far really. A 30.1 on soft is just really amazing. Strategy for this race, well, easy one stop I guess when we start on the soft tires. Maybe on the formation lap, which is actually going very slow here, but led by Alvaro as we are making contact with Daniel. They had that, and that's gonna disqualify us from this formation lap, which is really nice, isn't it? Something that I think has never happened to me before, but this formation lap was just so slow and I just didn't really pay attention in that particular moment. Well, I don't think again there's anything. If anything, it made our tires actually very cold, as we're now starting round number 3 of the AOR Season 16 Championship here, trying to get a decent launch off the line, a little bit better than our Bahrain, but Ross Woodford has had a belter of a start up the inside. Just overtook Daniel and me completely there, trying to go around the outside of 2 people of Mark as well here, who qualified relatively high up really. And there we go, we have the inside line for turn number 4 that is, and we are up into P7, so we made up 2 positions on the start, as Danny is somehow having a look at David Tonisa. Is giving us room here on the exit, which is surprising to me, to be honest, as I was, would have happily backed out of that. But we are having the inside line on Danny here, who's had not the best start really, to be honest, and we can still have the outside line here that gives us the inside line for this double left-hander. That should be the move done here, and Danny has us up into P number 6. So after not the best launch really, we've now made up 3 positions, so that gives us net 4th in this, soft runner train basically, which is led by Danny's teammate now, Gerks, instead of Jan Fela. Brilliant qualifying from him, and obviously tied championship leader. No, actually, David Tonita is not the championship leader at this point. It's Daniele Haddad, his teammate. see this is the second Renault just a couple of positions behind us. So the Renaults have locked out all race wins so far this season, which is interesting to say the least. So let's see what they can do here today. Obviously in the first few laps these ultra soft runners will pull away quite massively, a little bit wide, and luckily that didn't just give us any warning, did it? Yes, it didn't. Now it's really all about trying to A, stay in the slipstream train of these three guys here up ahead, and B, trying to stretch the tires as much as possible to maybe have an advantage really towards the end of the stint, which is normally my plan anyway. Trying to not overuse the tires too much, obviously trying to push, but not like trying to slide around everywhere, just trying to be consistent. Have to Nitsa there with an interesting lag spike. And luckily for him that didn't lose him too much ground. He's I think still in the 1 second window of Jan Fehler ahead. Yeah, from practice really I have to say, race pace didn't look too bad. I was just really struggling with this one lap pace, so once we're now going I think I should be relatively fine here on the pace and to challenge for relatively a high position again, especially after this really good start we had, or for opening lap I would say. Making up 3 positions really, just really good. But we obviously have to watch out for Danny obviously behind. This is I think after the first esports event, so Danny obviously knows China quite well from the esports competition already. So this is definitely, like on tracks like this, he definitely has a little bit of an advantage when it comes to, you know, experience just racing around that track, even though he did it obviously on a different race length. We had a little bit of a slide there out of the hairpin, which is not really ideal because Danny's now pressuring us quite a bit here. Just forced to use a little bit more ERS than I want to really into this first corner. Not the tightest line here as well. Danny having a look maybe up the inside, but leaving just a tiny bit of room in case he wants to go up the inside there, but he doesn't really want to. It seems like we're maintaining that position for now. Nothing really happened so far. We're still in the slipstream of David Tunisa, so that's not too bad. 5/10 behind, so easy peasy I would say. Trying to just get into a rhythm, not, you know, have these oversteer moments, for example, in the hairpin really. Which is not really something that you want. Obviously these ultra soft runs are not really of any significance at the moment, unless they want to go for the one stop, which is possible. It is possible to do the one stop on ultra soft medium. I was doing one race simulation with that in practice and I made it through, but it was so much slower than the soft medium strategy for me that I didn't really bother even trying it after that anymore. Even though it would have given me track position quite substantially, but still, it wasn't really worth it in my opinion. So yeah, but we're having quite a good race so far. Anyway, that's a dive there from Danny out of nowhere up the inside. I was not expecting that at all from him. He was miles back there, at least 3/10 or something, and well, that was definitely. Well, it was something I did not expect, and I think he just completely misjudged that on his behalf there. And he's letting us back through, which is fair enough, I guess. But that was that put the heart into my mouth really at that point when I saw the arrow flying down the inside. I tried to, you know, obviously open up the steering to see if he, you know, just go straight past, but he just locked his brake completely there and went straight into our side. At the moment, it doesn't seem like we got any damage from that, at least. But we will see how this will develop really in the next couple of laps. This is obviously lost us a position to Daniele had that now as well, which is not really good. Mark has gone by Danny. We're having a little bit of understeer here through this section. Losing a little bit of time here as well to Daniele here, a little bit wide again. Maybe a little bit of a driving error as well, but it's not really going well again. A little bit wide, and that. Did you see that, guys? Did you see that? I'm gonna you're gonna see it on the straight again, but I just looked at my front wing briefly, and that did not look like it was healthy anymore. And there we go. Slight damage on the front wing. It's nothing major really. But I decided to, like, you know what, go in the pits anyway, because it's gonna lose so much time here. Up the inside goes Mark, up the inside goes Danny again. and again he can't make the corner. And at that point I was definitely not happy at all, really. I mean, you can. I mean, it was for me. It was like, okay, well, that braking zone, first time DRS, you can misjudge it. There is no problem with that, really. It obviously got me wing damage, but that's, you know, that happens. We're going into the pits trying to replace this front wing, and it does not change our front wing. Okay. Well, we put yes. Exactly. we are quite frustrated at that. Well, I'm quite frustrated at that point. We put the repair damage thingy setting to yes, so for some reason it didn't change our front wing. So we're going in the next lap again, and it doesn't change our front wing. Well, race is over by at this point anyway. But yeah, just coming back to that these two incidents. I mean, yeah, the first one was alright. It was like, okay, but the second one really, that one made me a little bit more annoyed, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it happens, really. It can happen to any one of us, and that's just how it goes. Race is obviously over for me now. After the third time I went into the pits to try to change my front wing, it didn't really work out, and that's the race over, unfortunately, already here at China. After such a good start, I mean, it could have been definitely a good position here today, but it's just one of those races where sometimes it just doesn't go your way, and yeah, that's really much it for this video. And as I said again, the Baku video, which will be definitely longer than this one, will be up tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed this one here, and see you soon. Bye bye.